All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup. It is going to be, well, it is going to be 120 and Infi going up against Romantic and Starbuck. 120 spawning as the red undead under the name Orange. Meanwhile, Infi spawning as the red human. And yeah, I definitely noticed the color difference. Everything just seems a little bit more muted now that I'm looking at it in what is supposed to be classic graphics. It doesn't actually quite feel like classic graphics. Um, there is a subtle difference there, and well, color. Okay, so I know a lot of people out there will say like, hey, it's just colors, just get used to it. It's not that big of a deal. But what is off, and it's just visuals. It's well, yes and no, right? Like something as important especially in an RTS, where if you're unable to actually clearly distinguish and see your units, it becomes very difficult to like have comments, right? Even now, for some reason, the game seems a little bit more mobile like in graphics, even though it's supposed to be the classic reforged, or um, the classic graphics before reforged. So I'm not quite sure what to make of it. You guys can leave your comments below, but it does feel like things are just like are kind of hovering instead, and it really feels much more like mobile game-ish. The more I actually watch it, something doesn't seem quite right. It's all of the classic units walking around in their classic assets, but how they're interacting with their environment is not right. I don't know if you guys follow me or not. Anyways, we are looking at Starbuck going for Farseer first into Headhunters, this early War Mill, a big indication. Meanwhile, we're looking at, well, Romantic or Fortitude coming across with Militia. There's some footmen there for that very powerful front line. That's exactly what you want in a 2v2. You want one person to be able to go range, one person to be able to go melee, and it's extremely helpful as your units aren't going to be just clumping up on top of each other. You want to make sure that everyone is able to do something. All of your units are able to engage. Proper positioning is such an important decision in WarCraft 3. There is also unit composition and strategy overall. If looking at the Farseer and Archmage going up against the Shamans here, going to go ahead and easily finish them off. As you see a run by of a footman from Infi. It's going to take a little bit more damage. I don't think he's really going to give chase. Farseer looking to get to level 2 will get there. Picks up Claws of Attack +5. Meanwhile, the Archmage himself still sitting at level 1. Alright, that I am surprised about. I would have thought the Archmage would have needed to get to level 2 first. The Farseer should back away, giving the additional items to the Archmage. So the Archmage now with that +13 auto attack, and now giving Brilliant Sword. Alright, Metaphysics was here. Yes, thank you. I was just making some comments about how the units don't seem to quite interact with the map the same way they used to. Maybe it was because I was too zoomed out. But in a large fight, it's difficult to notice. Anyways, coming back across here, we're going to engage some, well, range attacks there. Archmage, remember, wow, plus 18 damage early on. That Archmage's auto attack is no joke. Plus 18 damage, that's like an extra attack from or more than one attack from a footman. As we're looking at damage still getting racked up here. Chain Lightning bouncing around Archmage. There's a Death Coil onto the Dark Patrol Shadow Priest. He's trying to get away and looks like he will be able to back up. Meanwhile, footman with the Fed reflecting back to that damage again. Those Crypt Fiends racking up quite a bit of damage. There's some Chain Lightning bouncing around as we're still looking at the footman with the Fend. Well, attempting to do a little bit of poke damage here. But to be honest, I don't see any major. We're probably like I don't know. Like the color palettes seem a little bit washed still to me. Like when I first loaded up this base, I'm like, I don't remember Undead Blight ever looking that green and muted. But yeah, I don't know. You guys can let me know. Coming back around, Archmage continuing to get in more attacks. Potion of Invulnerability picked up by the Farseer. Archmage still cleaning things up. Upwards of 48 damage per attack, and then go ahead attack that Death Knight, and then, well, one poor footman on the receiving end of a bunch of range. as we're looking at still more pressure coming across to engage. Crypt Fiends are, well, actually, now that I'm looking at all the units walking, maybe it's just all mental that I think that things are supposed to be different, right? Well, I don't know. That footman, I'm just studying the units a little bit more. It looks like he's like moon defend walking. That footman.
A player's force is
Right. I don't know. Okay, footman now continuing to move back across here. There goes a dead unit again. Footman continuing to turn back around. The defending footman, incredibly important in that front line as we now see a pit lord coming across here. All right, a little bit pincered played by 120, but it seems like it's being handled very well. Infi unable to truly engage as the pit lord comes across, gets in a good howl of terror to try and really reduce the amount of damage all of these headhunters can do. Meanwhile, the pit lord coming across here, going to continue to swipe. He does not have cleave. Remember, a beautiful deny at the last moment as the units are still looking to engage. Watch, they've destroyed our brains with constant abuse. Well, you could, if you want constant abuse, you could try and be a StarCraft 2 fan right now. StarCraft 2 fans, definitely in a world of hurt. The latest patches really just more about micro and not about decision making and strategies. It seems like it's everything has changed in terms of how StarCraft 2 is meant to be played than since when I cast it back in 2013, and that's an interesting point that I want to note. The game developers, the owners of the company, right, play a Capcom making StarCraft, or Capcom making Street Fighter 2, and how Street Fighter 2 is meant to be played, right, with each new iteration of, or Street Fighter, every iteration, how it's meant to be played, how mechanic heavy, how esport heavy you want it, all of that, and what the developers and they want to see from the game themselves. And that can change how the game is meant to be played overall. Even though it looks like the same game, by changing balance patches, you can really change the overall feel of the game and what is important in a game. Alright, Starbuck trying to retreat back here. Just massive battle fighting back around. There is a stomp there, but didn't really hit anything. I didn't see anything get stunned. As Starbuck's Tauren Chieftain really diving on in here, may need to be forced to pull back as the Paladin comes in with a nice 200 hit point heal. Alright, continuing to fight around here. Archmage Paladin as a second hero. Paladin trying to dive in onto that Pit Lord. Pit Lord gets a big heal as he's going to go and get a howl of terror as well, and looks to be able to back away. Paladin no longer having enough mana. Archmage opting to go for level 1 Brilliant Thrower as Militia now coming in from the far side to try and add in a little bit of additional damage. Alright, yeah, need to zoom out in this battle. There's just so many parts, so many flanks, so many wings to study and get track of. Brood War and WarCraft 3 greater than StarCraft 2. Death Coil onto the Archmage, or onto the Farseer. Farseer escaping away, and with, I believe, at 1.4 hit points, that Death Coil just not enough to get the job done there. As now, the army trying to push across here. There's an ensnare onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could have a bad day. There's a stun. We should see a scroll account portal. No, there's a potion of healing instead, and the Death Knight able to escape away down to 117 hit points. Siphon mana away from the Tauren Chieftain now, as Infi grabs a Blood Mage here. Farseer re-engages. It does have some healing salves ready to put in a little bit of pressure against, as the Death Knight is, well, fighting next to the shop. More Siphon mana, and it is going to go into the Pit Lord. Pit Lord should be able to get in another Howl of Terror right there, and you can see that mass effect, how much damage is being lost, completely counteracting that war song drums, and then some. Still battling through. Starbuck did grab and is chomping on a Crypt Fiend here. There's another Howl of Terror. Death Knight still trying to push their way through. Militia turning back into peasant form, but still attacking and moving around, or attacking and moving quickly with that, well, Scroll of Speed. This is just a massive battle. Scrolls of healing across multiple units. There's a Death Coil Crypt Fiend, the reversal of fortune, as competitive eaters say, as the Crypt Fiend now trying to escape away down to, well, no, gets another Death Coil again. And the Tauren Chieftain trying to catch up. That Howl of Terror is really forcing the Teal army to spend a lot more time trying to chase down one additional unit, as that damage debuff well, opened up quite a few more seconds again. Archmage, and well, trying to finish off some easy targets, just auto-targeting and picking off units. Meanwhile, we're still looking at that plus 18 damage from that level 3 Archmage from Romantic, as Infi tries to fall back into a corner here. All right, Infi finally forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Death Knight also forced to use the Scroll Portal. There's a Holy Light for the save on that Forest or that Dark Troll Berserker, who took a Death Coil from the Death Knight before the Death Knight used that Scroll of Town Portal here. Tauren Chieftain, dual Rings of Superiority. You see a couple peasants off over here. Perhaps they'll look to set up an expo since they're already in position. Berserkers have been upgraded, and that additional 100 hit points definitely very helpful, as the peasants now do set up a town hall and may need to set up some arcane towers, maybe even a vault to try and cause in some wall-in procedures.
Players' forces are under attack.
A little bit of a break in the action finally, as both sides go to their respective corners to clear out of these creep camps, get a little bit of hero levels, pick up some additional items, lick their wounds as their obsidian statues and priests heal those targets back up before venturing out once more. Keep on thinking that this should be some sort of shop, but it's not. All right, Paladin sitting at level 2, nearly at level 3. Archmage has gone into a tome of retraining. Expect a Blizzard now. Blizzard extremely effective AoE damage, extremely effective in AoE in large fights, just because of the amount of targets that are out on the battlefield. However, those battlefields can get rather chaotic, as the Paladin wants to get to level 3 and just gets there. Slippers of Agility. Archmage gets the Tome of retrain, or gets the level 4 as well, and there is going to be that retrain now. Level 2 Brilliance Aura, level 2 Blizzard, as well. This is a little bit of a dangerous play by Romantic. Or not, yeah, by Romantic or Fortitude. He's going to try to dive on in here. Are we going to be looking at a Blizzard? Yes, we are. It's going to try and bury down this Arcane Tower. Arcane Tower taking quite a bit of damage. There's a Holy Light trying to save Archmage, still coming back across there. Another round of Blizzard would finish it off. Is it going to take it down? Well, yes, it does end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, we do see a Rock Golem. I believe the Rock Golem tried to boulder toss the Archmage, but the Archmage used the Scroll of Town Portal just in time. All right, yeah. Very rarely do you ever see a double level up from, I believe that was a green creep camp. So some nice play there. Oh, tower by Infi. So Infi's like, hey, you're missing some towers at your expo. Let me help you out. Blood Mage coming across here, gonna easily attack. We see that, well, that Rock Golem summoned unit. That means that red creep camp was cleared out, and that the opponent does know about it, as this town hall will just be falling. Is it an NWS situation? Perhaps not worth saving, since both armies are here. Taking a look at overall supply, 53 and 56 going up against 57 and 50. The farms just look different to me. I don't know. They look different to me. But I guess I can say this: after 2 decades of playing Warcraft 3, watching Warcraft 3, casting Warcraft 3, I can have my opinion as well. Starbuck and in orange, both sides have their own Rock Golem here. One teal on the shoulders, one red on the shoulders, as we see a Purge onto an Abomination. Wow, so Purge on an Abomination, a big deal there. Another, well, that Rock Golem is pretty much a level 1 Mountain King, as it is taking quite a bit of damage right there. You can see all of that magic damage that's getting focused, or no, all of that damage that's getting focused onto it. Remember, it is magic immune. More Blizzard is raining down on both sides trying to get into a proper position. Tauren Chieftain with that level 2 stomp should be able to get in a big bit of damage. There's another Stone Golem toss, and Siphon Mana, beautiful timing by Infi, as the Tauren Chieftain was just about to have enough mana to try and put his foot down. Tauren Chieftain constantly getting stunned. The Blizzards are still very effective. We see a banish onto the Tauren Chieftain here, as the Tauren Chieftain is still trying to battle its way through, perhaps finishing off some of these units. Low hit point Spellbreakers. Look at all of those low hit point units. They need to be, well, they need to back up here, or they're trying to still venture forth. This is a little bit dangerous. Low hit point Spellbreakers should all be trying to retreat back, but the Pit Lord, wow. Oh my god, banish Death Coil for the massive heal onto the Pit Lord. That was a beautiful save. I don't know if it was on purpose. The Paladin, if it had Holy Light during the banish while it was traveling, that would have been a beautiful, an interesting turn of events right there, as the Tauren Chieftain once more out of mana. That Blood Mage of Infi is really just shutting down the Tauren Chieftain's attempts at being able to get in some good stomps and follow up Blizzard, as we're still looking at that Tauren Chieftain diving on in here. Alright, that Tauren Chieftain pretty much has a Death Wish, as it has an Ankh of Reincarnation, as the Paladin purposely backs away, but now not going to be able to heal. Tauren Chieftain now getting back up again. There's still nothing to keep him down, as we see another heal onto that Pit Lord. That Pit Lord, because of that constant howl of terror, has been able to be in that front line spot and fight very well. Massive massive damage reduction, minus 11 per attack there. That is a level 4 Pit Lord just doing Pit Lord things. Tauren Chieftain now going to try and, fall back. There goes a Raider, and it feels like, well, the Teal army needs to back away. There's still a good number of Spellbreakers, but a lot of them are low on hit points. One goes down, a couple. All we need is a little bit of focus fire, and more will go down. There goes a second, and they are falling quickly. The Spellbreakers need to fall back. They need to regroup, but Romantic is trying to go for some jugular kills here to make sure some lasting effects do go down, or do happen. All right, Orb of Lightning on the Farseer with now plus 35 damage. Was wondering for a moment how that Spellbreaker got purged and was forced to stand around. Auto attack bonus, Farseer getting that damage there. All right, so Farseer, it makes sense, has all the claws of attack now, as the Archmage has transitioned from water elementals and auto attacks to just Blizzard. Am I following the 2024 World Chess Championship? I'll dip into it from time to time. I'm not that big in chess, even though I really like chess, but I just can't get good at it. I often don't see the tactics that are necessary for good position. Like, good positioning opens up tactics, I know, and for some reason I see those tactics when I play like Chinese chess. If you, not Chinese checkers, Chinese chess, they often have kanji written on them, and you move on the lines of a board instead of in the squares of a board, and there's a river down the middle, if you guys want to see what Chinese chess is. But yeah, I often, like, playing that as a kid, I found the tactics of that, I found the tactics and the play into that much more often than the tactics of traditional chess. Anyways, coming back off to the north here, Spellbreakers, Archmage. Archmage gonna perhaps buy a Scroll of Town Portal. No, buying Scrolls of Healing. Tauren Chieftain, well, +6 to every single stack or stat. Ring of the Archmagi. It would be interesting if you could, like, go to a shop and go be like, convert the 3 rings of superiority into the ring of the Archmagi. Like, that would just be a nice thing, right? Like, you free up 2 item slots, and it gives you a reason to hold on to these rings of superiority. All right. Arcane Tower down to the south here. No sides with Expos. We're looking at 58 supply and 62. No reinforced defenses for Starbuck, going up against 50 and 48. So 120 and Infi still sitting in no upkeep right now to get a little bit more gold out of the bank. They are banking up a little bit more gold out of the mine. So they are banking up a little bit, sitting on north of 500 and 1,000 gold. And that may have been part of the strategy to make sure that they spend their gold at the right amount of time. I tried getting into... Yeah. Alright, Invisible Tauren Chieftain to start the play. it appears. Being able to stomp onto the priest and blizzard them all. That would be absolutely key. Level 2 blizzard with a level 2 stomp should be able to do something. Arcane tower down across here, gonna get poked and finished quickly as well. As the engagement gonna get ready. Tauren Chieftain standing right in the middle of everything. What's going on? Well, we see what's happening here. Does 120 and Infi see what is happening? That's the question. That Tauren Chieftain does benefit from Brilliance Aura, does have maximum amount of does have what maximum hit points. Even with Disease Cloud, he kind of like ticks down and then ticks back up again. Invisibility is about to end though. Flickering invisibility right there. Oh, buying a new potion of invisibility. All right, so Starbuck using invisibility. I thought for a second it was Romantic that had sorceresses out. No, there is no sorceresses out on the battlefield, so that's a much more expensive way to get invisibility. But then again, oh, there's a shade. There's a shade. All right, so a shade by 120 and a shade by 120, and here we are, here we go. They're gonna try, and oh, there's the Siphon Mana, there's the Stomp, the Blood Mage wasn't far back enough, there's the Banish, and all of that was just trying to set all of that up, and Starbuck couldn't do it. All right, so getting that early shade here. Meanwhile, off to the side, that is a bunch of Abominations going up against a bunch of Spellbreakers. That is not good for the Spellbreakers. Meanwhile, Blizzard raining down across a bunch of Headhunters. That is not going to be a good spot either. Lich just getting caught out right in the middle of the battlefield. Quickly gets taken down as the Tauren Chieftain has just constantly been banished. All right, Spellbreakers trying to engage, trying to dive on in. Abominations are still coming back across here. A little bit of poke damage as the Pit Lord is in the center position, trying to cleave and just fight his way through these locations. Meanwhile, we do see Demolishers trying to attack into the far position, into the far back. So positioning is going to be key here. Level 5 now on the Archmage and the Farseer as the Blood Mage, well, perhaps going to try and get, the Blood Mage taking the mana away from that Paladin. All right, Chain Lightning and a heal onto the Pit Lord. Pit Lord able to escape, is currently banished. The Paladin could actually Holy Light the Pit Lord and perhaps even killed him before the Death Coil came across. All right, Potion of Invulnerability now finally being used. Blood Mage in the back position, just shutting down the enemy heroes. And it really feels like Infi's Blood Mage has been the hero throughout this match, shutting down key plays from the Tauren Chieftain and making other critical plays by funneling mana back into those undead heroes. Level 5 now on the Death Knight, incoming Death Coil onto the Pit Lord. Yeah, you can see that from a mile away as the units are trying to heal back once again. Bunch of low hit point priests, a bunch of low hit point Spellbreakers. Pit Lord looking to dive in. Tauren Chieftain, it could be in a bit of trouble. Does have an Invul potion as it's trying to make its way through. There's a Death Coil once again as well. Other units are just getting cleaned up. Archmage trying to keep a little bit of that distance, and it feels like Infi may be able to get in a couple more quick kills if he is able to and try and get that Archmage up to level 5. Demolishers low on hit point, gonna get taken down, but Archmage is too far away from the battle. Archmage down to 123 hit points, still trying to stay alive as we're looking at those wolves. Perhaps not trying to give a bonus experience. All right, there's a little bit more damage again. Archmage down to 153 hit points, taking constant damage and pressure as there's the Destroyer also up in the air. Units trying to fall back here, and all of these battles have been so razor close, going back and forth. Potion of Invulnerability now onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 5, but still doesn't have enough mana. Level 4 Archmage falls. Or Infi's Archmage falls at level 4 as the Tauren Chieftain falls at level 5, giving Pit Lord level 5 as well. Paladin didn't have enough mana for the Death Coil as, wait, why is there a remaining counter time showing? No, is someone, oh, there was someone unsummoned the Black Citadel. All right, so undead unsummoned the Black Citadel. Hence, he is going to be revealed in about 2 minutes. Archmage continuing to funnel up more here. Pit Lord completely surrounded by peasants, but the Pit Lord has cleave. Look at all of those peasants just get taken down. That was not a good call whatsoever, as the Death Knight is just going to be able to get off another Death Coil here again. However, the Shadow Wolves and the Spellbreakers are still going after that Death Knight. There's a Holy Light. Archmage attack. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Archmage of Romantic and the Paladin now get a double level up again. No hexes. Archmage level 2 Brilliance Aura, perhaps level 3 Blizzard, as that last fireball from the Archmage, enough to get the job done. Archmage trying to get resurrected here. We are seeing some long distance mining by these peons. That is quite a lot of peons trying to get that long distance mining in. Blizzard raining down as well. It looks as though it is level 2 Brilliance Aura. There's a purge onto the Spellbreaker. The Shadow Wolves should be able to just finish it off. Come on, attack it. There it goes. And takes it out as well. All right, Peasants also doing some long distance mining off of this gold mine too, as we see perhaps some resurrections at the tavern. All right, let's take a look at 27 over 20 supply. This is 17 over 62 supply, 34 over 68, and 38 over 71. So Teal definitely has the advantage here. And, well, Archmage is just, well, Blizzard of 2024 destroying multiple farmhouses here on a Tidewater Glades. No one expects a blizzard in the middle of the marshlands, and perhaps wasn't built for it. All right, center portion of the map, siphon mana into the Death Knight. Infi, all of these heroes getting ready for perhaps one final counter push, as the peasants are doing that long distance mining, walking back and forth. Archmage trying to get ready to engage. Torrent Chieftain doesn't have that much mana. Here we are, here we go. There goes another town hall here. There's some siphon mana against the Paladin. Paladin is just walking around. There's a quick hex onto the Blood Mage. Blood Mage, with all that he's said and done, hasn't, well, not able to do much there, but Farseer falls at level 5. There's a potion of invulnerability. Paladin tries to break the chain. Blood Mage trying to back away. We're still looking at Blizzard raining down on both sides here, as the Kodo Beasts have nothing in their belly, and that is important. Trying to finish off some more units again. With the Torrent Chieftain, is he going to be able to get off a whole stomp here? He should be able to get off a stomp here, but he wants to hit it onto something of relative importance, not just these acolytes. All right, trying to finish off some of these units. Blood Mage going to come back around. Nope, he's just going to end up siphoning the mana from the Torrent Chieftain, so no opportunity to even throw down a stomp. All right, Torrent Chieftain trying to make his way back around. Is he going to throw down a big level 3 stomp? That is the question. Is he going to stomp? Yes, he does a stomp right there, and the Blood Mage finally going to go down. That was a vengeance kill. That was so much anger behind that stomp. That Torrent Chieftain wanting to put his foot down throughout this match. The Blood Mage constantly saying nope. Well, the Shadow Hunter making that Blood Mage feel sheepish, I think it was sheepish or crabby, with a Hex followed by a Stomp to get the job done. Let me know what you guys want, or let me you guys. I know what you guys want. You guys want another game. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Let's take a look at the final scores right here.